Have you ever tried working on your lawnmower, maybe to sharpen the blades or just do some maintenance, but it's just too low to the ground? Well, that happens to me all the time. Now, we try to use a floor jack to jack it up, but it's not always the easiest to find the best location to jack it up. And then, of course, you need some jack stands under it to make sure it's safe. But that can be a little bit of a challenge in itself. Then there are those, well, side lifting little jacks I've seen for some lawnmowers, but up close, those look too flimsy for me to ever even consider being under. So, what can we do? Oh, and you can't forget about car ramps. You know, you drive your front tires up on so you can get up under your car. But, wait a minute. Most car ramps, well, they'll probably be about the length of the wheelbase of a lawnmower. So therefore, they're just going to be in the way. And then I remembered a few years ago, I saw a picture of some ramps that were kind of interlocking. The back half where the actual steps are kind of interlocked with the actual stand part, so that once you drive your tires up on it, you can take off the back half and have plenty of room. So, let's see if we can build some. Here is a quick drawing of what I was thinking about. You have the back half here where your tire can sit on, and then your front half, and they link here in the middle. Now, I've never built something like this before, so let's give it a shot. To build these ramps, I'm going to be using a 2x6. At 5.5 inches wide, that should definitely handle the tires of a mower, and I've used these for car ramps, so I'm not worried about the weight at all. To make all these cuts, I'm going to use a miter saw. If by chance you don't have a miter saw, you can use a circular saw, but you just need to be very careful and make sure that all of your cuts are as close to 90 degrees as possible. Here are the size of the boards I cut. This one is 15, this one is 11, this one's 9. I have 3 at 8 inches, 1 at 7.5, 1 at 6, and 2 at 1.5. And I just realized I possibly made a mistake on these two, and I want to show you so you don't do the same. If you look closely, the grain is actually running in this direction, making this actually a fairly weak piece of wood. So I want to actually go back and recut these so that the grain is running in this direction, making it much stronger. Fortunately, I still have a little bit of wood left over, so I'm going to measure this out 5.5 inches and make that cut, and then turn this piece and then cut those at 1.5 so that the grain will be running in that direction. These were the first pieces I cut, and these are the second. Notice the difference in the grain. These are going to be much stronger. It's now time to do a quick test fit to make sure everything works. We're going to take the 11 and the 15, and these are going to be the base for everything, so we want those to start end to end. Then take your 8-inch boards, and you want those to go on the back side of your 11-inch board. Then grab those two little 1.5s, and we want to set those right there next to the 8s. Take your 9-inch board, and that'll just bump right up to those 1.5s. Take your 6-inch, put that right on top of everything here. Then take your 7.5 and put it into the back. Push everything together. Looks like this is going to fit, so let's start putting them together. To assemble these, you can use screws. I'm just going to use some 2.5-inch long deck screws, but you can use whatever you'd like, or you can use glue. Now, of course, glue is permanent, and screws you can take back apart just in case something breaks, and that's what I'm going to do. When adding the screws to the boards, I'm going to do it in a V shape. So that way when I add the next board, I'm just going to reverse that V shape so there's no chance of me hitting screw onto screw. And after making sure this back half is flush, I've clamped them down to minimize that movement. I'm also going to pre-drill each of these holes so I don't get any cracking, but that's totally up to you. Once the 11 and all 3 8s are in position, we're then going to take the 7.5 and attach it to the back. I also pre-drilled these holes to minimize cracking. Next, take the 1.5-inch pieces, and we want to stick them on top of the 11 and bump them up against the 8 that's there. And then take something like a popsicle stick or craft stick, or just some business cards if you don't have one of these, and stick it in between. And we want to push it up tight and hold it down and run our hand along the edge here. We want to make sure there's at least a little bit of wood either sticking out or perfectly flush so that everything can move up and down when we go to link them later. And when you do this process, if you find out that the top board here is actually sticking out further than the bottom board, then we're going to either need to cut away a little bit or sand stuff down so it's at least nice and even. Then take a pencil and we want to mark the tops so we don't accidentally get these mixed up later. After making sure it is nice and flush here on the end, I've clamped it down, pre-drilled 2 holes, and I'm going to add 2 screws just to this outside board, and then I'll remove the spacer and the inside board. With those 2 screws in place, the back half is now complete. But I am going to take some sandpaper and go along this inner edge here just to kind of take off that edge and make it a little bit easier for everything to slide together later. Moving on to the front half of this ramp, we are now taking the 15-inch board and the 9-inch board, and we're going to make them flush on this end and screw them together like we did the others. Then grabbing the other 1.5-inch piece and the 6-inch board, we want to attach those together. But if I do that, notice how wobbly it is. So I'm going to take the other half of that 15-inch board, use it as a brace, get everything lined up, clamp it down, and screw that together. Also, remember when we mark the top of that little 1.5-inch board when we were measuring everything out, remember that still has to stay up. So when we put the 6-inch board on it, we need to make sure that marking is still facing upward and sandwich it in between. Then we're going to take the 2 bottom boards and we're going to bump them together, making sure they're flush on the sides but tight together. And then take that 6-inch board and we want to put it in place, also making sure that it is flush on the sides and pushed tight against the back. And as we're assembling this, there's always a chance that everything here might be a little bit off. You can see it's not perfectly flat right there. The main thing is to make sure that we keep that space in between there, and everything else should work out. I then clamped everything down and added 4 screws through the 6-inch board into the 9-inch board, making sure not to go into that 1.5. With everything in place, now you can easily climb up the ramp, get your tires up here, remove this back half, and have extra room to work in. But not just that. Let's just say once you get up here, you don't have enough clearance to lift it straight up. You can always slide this side to side and get them off real easy as well. Now that I'm happy with this one, I just followed the same procedure and created a second one. Another thing to think about is storage. Well, these actually get stowed away really easily. Let's give it a shot. Take one, so we can flip it onto the other. That looks pretty compact to me. Now, I probably could have extended it out on the bottom just a little bit for this side to make it perfectly square, but I'm happy with that. How about you? But more importantly, will these actually work for the lawnmower? Let's go test them out. Did you happen to see the happy accident when I was testing out the ramps? When I went to pick them up at the end, I grabbed them here and look at that. They stay together. That was just an accident. I did not prepare that, but I guess since the tight tolerances of everything, they just grab each other and allow you to lift both of them up at the same time and they don't fall apart. That's awesome. Something else I noticed in the process of using this is that I only have 4 layers of wood here at the tallest part, giving me about 6 inches. That may not be enough for some people. So you can always add a couple pieces down here, making this taller and longer so you can use it on just about any mower. But keep in mind that these are not really designed for 0-turn mowers. Those are the ones that steer from the rear wheels and the front wheels kind of just flop around and go any direction. You want your front wheels to be steerable so you can direct them up onto these ramps on and off safely. Overall, I really like this design and I think it's going to work great with my mower. Now, if you have any other suggestions, please put those in the comments. I'd love to hear about them. Plus, you'll help out everybody else who watches this video. Overall, if you like this design, I hope you can build something similar for yourself. Otherwise, get out in your shop and have fun building.